Welcome everyone to Ballet Bites. Today we're diving into the evolution of the National Ballet of China, starting from its inception in 1959, with deep Soviet roots all the way through to its dazzling global tours, reimagining classics with a distinct Chinese voice.
I'm really excited to unpack this. There's so much to explore. So where should we begin?
Well, let's start with the foundation, its Soviet training legacy. Back in the 1950s, as Soviet experts helped set up Beijing's ballet schooling, the method, it's like a Vaganova bedrock, really molded the kind of crisp technique we see today. They standardized placement, épaulement, and these impeccably clean lines that remain a signature for the company.
That clarity in technique is key, isn't it? It sounds like that foundation even shaped how they chose their repertoire.
Exactly. With those Russian influences, the company embraced pristine 19th century classics like Swan Lake, Giselle, and even Don Quixote. And then there's the Soviet-style approach to full-length storytelling. They call it the drum ballet DNA. That's why you see echoes of those influences in iconic works like the Red Detachment of Women.
Right, and speaking of that, Red Detachment of Women seems to fly as the signature piece, an emblem that connects history and revolutionary narrative, full of theatrical punch.
Exactly. Plus on tour, the big calling card is how they blend both history and homegrown narrative. Take, for instance, Chinese New Year, a ballet in 2 acts. It's a rework of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker score, offered at the Kennedy Center in early 2025. Imagine experiencing that original Nutcracker score, reinterpreted through a Lunar New Year
Yeah, that's such an enchanting twist. So, instead of the classic European Christmas salon vibe, they're converting it into something that feels very intimate and family-driven, like a Chinese New Year reunion with all the associated traditions, right?
Exactly. In Act 1, that party transforms into a family's New Year's Eve gathering, with couplets on the door, red lanterns casting a warm glow, and snacks like candied haw. And then, instead of a magical figure like Drosselmeyer, you've got an auspicious visitor, maybe with lion masks or even paper-cut silhouettes, ushering in blessings as the clock ticks forward.
Interesting. It's impressive how they maintain the integrity of Tchaikovsky's melodies while embedding deep cultural symbolism. But what about the extra acts and vignettes?
Oh, right. The divertissements are like mini parades of Chinese folklore. You've got a parade of zodiac animals, each stepping out in lively solos, and even a porcelain kingdom vignette that plays with chinoiserie from the inside out. Think silk ribbon, spinning top dances, all riding perfectly on that renowned Nutcracker score.
Yeah, that's a really clever localization. Now, looking at the fusion of East and West, where do you find this most striking? Is it the mime, the group formations, or the musical textures?
It's all three, but each element shines in its own way. In mime, you see this codified hand language and opera-like gestures, borrowed from Chinese stage traditions, that make the storytelling more immediate. Then there are the group formations, which often resemble ceremonial symmetry, or even palace pageant formations, almost like a living scroll painting. And, in musical textures, even as you're hearing Tchaikovsky's score, choreographers layer in Chinese color symbolism, lanterns, silk, and sleeve motifs that nod to traditional instruments.
Got it. It's like every performance is a dialogue, a blend of Western musical heritage and Eastern visual storytelling.
Absolutely. And then we can't ignore the narratives threaded into the program notes and pre-show talks. They stress themes of family continuity and renewal, updated national heritage, and people-to-people cultural exchange. Even the Chinese embassy emphasized bridge building during the company's US premiere.
Yeah, those through lines really elevate the performance beyond just pretty visuals. I do have a question though. With such deliberate state cultural objectives in play, aren't there risks of the company overbalancing toward a state-sponsored narrative, potentially stifling genuine innovation?
That's a fair point. But look at how they manage it. A kind of three-legged stool setup. On one leg, you have Chinese originals, like Red Detachment of Women and Raise the Red Lantern. On the second, those timeless 19th century classics. And on the third, imported modern works from the 20th and 21st. This balance appears to encourage both fidelity to heritage and innovative storytelling.
That balance sounds like a smart strategy. So it's almost like they're using state support to ensure heritage is preserved, but simultaneously inviting global collaborations and nurturing new creative voices through initiatives like the Ballet Workshop.
Exactly. Those workshops invite fresh choreographic voices to make the Western language serve Chinese culture, if you will. This approach prevents the company from becoming a museum piece and keeps the dialogue with Western critics and audiences very much alive.
And what stands out is that Despite the political weight behind it, the pure technique, thanks to those Soviet-era foundations, remains unimpeachable. It's like the constant truth beneath all these narrative layers.
Absolutely. Technique is politics proof. The clean fifths, generous porte de bras, and character dance fluency, established long ago, provide the platform on which all these narratives are expressed. It gives them the range to jump from a classic Tchaikovsky score to contemporary Chinese themes without losing clarity.
Right on. So, if we were to boil down their touring identity in 2025, what would it be?
Let's see. The first point is that they're world-class because of that rigorous technique. Second, they have signature Chinese ballets that tell stories only they can, whether it's the revolutionary icon of Red Detachment or the lavish visual poetry of Raise the Red Lantern. And third, they're boldly reinterpreting Western scores, like Chinese New Year on Tchaikovsky, enabling global audiences to feel invited into a dialogue rather than lectured.
That really captures it. It's almost as if they're saying, we honor our heritage, and yes, we have deep Soviet roots, but our evolution and reinterpretation of these stories speaks to a modern, dynamic China.
Exactly. And that tension, the negotiation between revolutionary origins and modern reinterpretation, is what makes every performance a living conversation. You see it in every nuance, from the mime gestures to the orchestration, and even in the strategic programming that pairs a romance like Peony Pavilion with revolutionary
Right, it's as if each performance is layered with multiple stories. It's a delicate blend, a deliberate act of cultural diplomacy. The company manages to use global classics as a backdrop against which contemporary narratives and state objectives can engage in an open dialogue.
That's the beauty of it. The National Ballet of China shows us that technique, when combined with an innovative, narrative-rich approach, can convey both tradition and transformation. And it's like they're constantly negotiating their identity, never letting it be pinned down to one narrative.
Yeah, very dynamic. Overall, it seems that their journey from Soviet classrooms to global stages is more than just a story of dance. It's a story of resilience, innovation, and ultimately, how art itself can become a bridge between cultures.
Exactly. It reminds us that while technique is a constant, repertoire is the living, breathing negotiation of meaning. And for both directors and dancers, that's where the true art lies.
Absolutely, that's such a profound takeaway. So, to wrap it up, whether you're enchanted by the historical narratives or the fresh, modern twists, the National Ballet of China provides a spectacle that speaks in a universal language, one that's as visual as it is technical and as traditional as it is innovative.
Exactly. And it's an invitation for audiences everywhere to witness that vibrant conversation between heritage and modernity. If you ever want to dive deeper into one of these aspects, maybe even discuss that intricate mime scene or how jewels contrast with modern works, just drop us a line.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into a ballet that truly bridges worlds.